Hello, I'm Tommy Moore from the Bartitsu Lab, and in this video we're going to be looking at some of the pitfalls of slamming someone right in the bollocks. Now many combatives courses, instructors, curricula all around the world spend a lot of time focusing on attacks to the groin, and I'm going to talk about some of the reasons why sometimes that's not always a brilliant standard operating procedure and some of the pitfalls that can occur. So, main thing to start off with, most people are very aware of their throat, their eyes and their groin. So if you go for those areas, humans are very innately protective of those areas, of pushing the chin down, closing the eyes, moving them away, bringing the legs together or scooting back. These are vulnerable areas which intuitively we protect very well. So again, humans have a brilliant flinch response when it comes to these areas. But one of the main pitfalls, and I'm going to focus really on knees or close range kicks to the groin here, is that if I, in a grapple or pre-grapple, knee him in the bollocks, lovely, and hopefully that puts him out. The problem is that most people, when they're attacked to the groin, their somatic reflexes, their somatic response for 99% of the planet is hips back, head forward, like so. Hips back, head forward, which for many people is quite a good response. You know, if I do this, bam, your head goes down, your ability to be offensively viable is somewhat redacted. One of the main problems is a lot of the people that advocate the knee to the groin are recommending it from a position of size, weight, strength disparity. So a smaller person, for example, let's say a smaller woman against a larger man, whoa, smash him right in the bollocks with an attachment or without. The problem is that the hips back, body forward, head forward leads to what I call the lurch. When people get hit in the bollocks, their somatic reflex is this. If you're in the way, they're on top of you now. Suddenly, we're in a grapple. You've just kneed me in the bollocks, so that really hurts. So my first thought is probably not to disengage and strike you, but to grip and recover, get my bearings back, and I will get my bearings back, and then I might start to smash you to bits because I've got you in this particular position. Now don't get me wrong, a lot of people being kneed to the bollocks will collapse, will instantly take the fight out of them. But don't discount when you're in the danger zone for the lurch, bang, and he falls on you. If he grabs you, which he likely will to stop himself falling over and to start get his bearings back, once you're in this grip, he'll hold on for this for dear life. And when he starts to loosen it, it's because he's going to smash you to fuck because you really fucked him off. So some of the ways you can mitigate this. You know, I wouldn't advise you taking attacks to the groin out your arsenal because they are very effective. But do be ready for that immediate somatic response, that somatic lurch, which often ends in a grapple. So if you are going to go for the knee to the groin, one of the first things I'd advise is making sure that you can frame. So framing is using this somewhat larger than 90-degree placement of the arm across his chest. So even a very strong person can be held back. If you imagine you can hold the door closed against a very big person with your arm framed like so. So if you are going to knee, I advise getting yourself into the frame so that if he does lurch forward, you've got the ability to make space. For me, the golden algorithm is this. Space equals time, time equals choice. The choice to escape, call for friends, trap the police, draw a weapon. You have the choice because you have the space and time. So if you are going to go for that knee to the groin, a lot of people do it from an immediate tie. The problem is, from an immediate tie and he falls over into this, we're in a nasty grapple. If I switch it to this frame, I can still have decent control, can slam him in the groin, and if the lurch forward happens, I've got something to drive him off. Make sure the bend is at greater than 90 degrees. If it's less than 90 degrees, if it's less than a right angle, it's quite easy to collapse. You know, as soon as you hit 91, 92, the stronger this is. So if you're going to knee to the bollocks, framing is a good idea. Cross grab, bang. Even if you don't grab, just having the arm across. So you're in this nasty fucking tangle. Whoa! Knee to the bollocks. You can frame against that grapple. If that's unavailable to you, you can spike. So again, as I knee to the groin, I make sure that I use my elbow into the centre of mass to make sure that he cannot collapse me. This is a strong structure. For me, this gives me more opportunity to get out of dodge. But even this is a strong structure. So if I'm going to knee to the groin, I might spike at the same time. So making sure I've got this here so that I can always maintain at least 8 inches of distance between the opponent. So you may ballistically spike, so spike and knee at the same time. You may decide to do that. Or if you're really up close and you're in this nasty grapple, you may use the elbow for placement and use it as a lever or as a bar, so it can be percussive at the same time, or it can pry, it can push off. You can also, again, if you look at World War II combatives, you can apply a strike at the same time that you go for the groin. So classic World War II here would be a chin jab under the jaw, simultaneous with a knee. Boom. The fact that I've attacked underneath the jaw with the chin jab means that his lurch over here is made much more difficult and unlikely. I'll likely knock him over. So again, you may wish, if you're going for the groin, make sure you attack up top too to stop that head drop here. So again, simultaneous, bang, knee to the groin, chin jab, the hard bit of the palm, under the chin, from here. So that is another option, a higher level of force option, but an option. You've obviously got some things which are grappling orientated. So with Bob here, it's hard to show some of the more nuanced ones, but if we go for basics, if I knee him in the bollocks, bang, and that lurch is coming, if I take a grip on the outside of his arm, and the outside of his shoulder, I can flank him, I can aggressively pull and move round him. So I might go, whoop, whoop, and move myself. I don't necessarily have to move him. I launch my own body around him and get gone. So again, I always advise this cross arm anyway, but let's say I've smashed to the bollocks, bang, immediately grip and flank, aggressively pull on his arm and his shoulder and get gone. Or if it starts to get too late, if he's already started to Frankenstein, don't forget your ability to sprawl. So being able to shoot your legs back and drive him down. I don't have a huge amount of room in my dojo to do this, so I'm going to do it with Bob standing up. But essentially my hips go down. But again, there is some risk in this, in that I may go down with him. But when you've got your partners, once COVID's over, you can get used to sprawling without your knees touching the ground, bouncing up off him and getting gone. But my advice, a good default, is if you're going to knee to the groin, cross grip, because then you can frame if you were to lurch. If you can't do that, elbow spike, boom. So again, you prevent him being able to lurch forward from an attack up top. That same philosophy is with a hit. Could be a chin jab, could be an elbow, could be whatever. But attacking on the high line and the low line means that it's quite difficult for that somatic reflex to happen. Or if you've got your wherewithal with you, or if there's multiple opponents you need to flank, you need to get gone, do your shot, grip, just fuck off straight away. Don't get caught in the immediate because this can lead to bad things for you. And this happens very, very, very often. It's very rare that someone will theatrically cup and croak and fall to the ground. Odds are, if his intentions were bad anyway, he's hitting the bollocks, he's going to keep driving forward. And he's going to grip on until he figures out where his right bollock has gone. And that gripping, that wrestling match causes time delay, causes variables, and many of those variables might be bad for you. So next time you're thinking about attacking the groin, mentally prepare yourself for that lurching grapple, whether you're going to flank, hit, spike, or brace, whatever you're going to do, be ready for an aggressive, concerted grab at your person. Something to think about when you're thinking about groin strikes.